What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We're back at Dealers Auto Auction here in Oklahoma City for another walk around. Let's jump into this video today and see what we find. We're going to start this video out with a 2020 Lincoln Nautilus with 22,165 miles on the odometer. This thing looks nice. It's got a V6. I assume it's going to be an EcoBoost, probably a 2.7. Who knows? It may. Oh, here it is right there, 2.7 T, all-wheel drive. It's got that high metallic paint. It's like looking at a diamond. I mean, there's just so much sparkle in that paint. I'm going to try to get out of the way so that you guys can maybe see some of that for yourself. But that paint, wow. Wow. I know I buy a lot of white vehicles, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. I don't actually really like white vehicles. It's, you know, they're all right, but it's not really my color. I love red. Red is the color for me. But if you're going to get white, man, get something that really stands out like this. Just pop this bright white with sparkles everywhere. I love that color. The wheels are they're pretty big, man. What are these? These are, heck, I can't even see. The sidewall's so dadgum thin. They're Continentals. They're 265 40 21s. Wow, 21s. What an oddball size. The interior, it smells a little funky, if I'm being completely honest. It's got a smell. It's not pleasant. It doesn't make me want to get in and drive it. Yeah, it stinks. It smells wet. That's what it smells like. It smells like it got wet. We've had some pretty nasty storms out here lately, so fires right up. Miles, 22,166, which means everything on this is going to work. The infotainment screen's a little dated, I guess. You know, I think they could have done a little better on that. That looks like that's some old school look right there. The dash instrument cluster looks good. 19 miles to empty, which means, guess what? We can actually drive this one. How do you get out of that? I don't know. See, they put so many buttons on here, like it takes you 20 minutes sitting in your car to figure out how to work everything. I'd like to clear that 19 miles to empty. Over here is weird. You've got your infotainment on this side and cruise control. You've got settings, navigation, display, and phone over here. You push this button. Oh, it's right there. It literally says OK, dead in the center. Miles per gallon, average 21. Not bad over the last 5,624 miles. Air-conditioned seats. You got your park reverse neutral drive right there. We're going to pop the hood real quick. I just want to see what this looks like. Is it like the Bronco where it's a hot mess under the hood of like vacuum lines and boost pipes, and or did they actually try to cover it up and make it look halfway decent? Oh yeah. See, this one looks a lot better. This looks way better than the Bronco's 2.7 EcoBoost. They actually tried to make this look a little more elegant. Looks good, sounds good. 20,000 miles, there shouldn't be, make sure that closed. There we go. There shouldn't be anything wrong with this. And again, the color, it just, man. Yeah, the color blows me away, guys. So let's buckle up. Let's take it for a ride. All right. Are we ready? Let's see what happens. Oh, I left my Gatorade, man. My Gatorade's sitting in the sun. By the time we get back, that Gatorade is going to be nasty. These buttons are, this takes a while to get used to. All right. We're parked right behind a Kia Soul. I always do that. That way, in case I forget, I can come back in my video and figure out where we're parked. It's very important that you put these cars back where you get them from, because they all have numbers. These have rows, lanes, and everything, like 33, 85, things like that. If you don't put them back where you get them from, then the people that work here have to go through extra work, spend extra time trying to locate these vehicles. So since they're kind enough to let us come out here and look through their vehicles, I think it's only right that we can, you know, at least put them back where they came from, so we don't have their employees wasting time trying to figure out where the car went when they had it written down and somebody, now believe me, people put these things back wherever. I see it all the time. They take them, test drive them, and they stick them like 2 lanes away. that sucks. So I try to be respectful of that, man. I want to make sure we put them back where we get them from. All right, test track time. Let's see what it does. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not going to call it fast, but the 2.7 is, all of the EcoBoost engines from Ford, the V6s anyway, they're little monsters, man. They are little monsters. They're just loaded with torque. So the 2.7 is obviously no exception to that, and it gets it. It does. Let's put you guys down on the instrument cluster here. Hopefully you can see. And let's give it a go. It takes a minute for the boost to spool, but when it does, man, like once it starts building boost, watch out. Watch out. The Grand National is the same way. Definitely a little sluggish on takeoff if you're not like power braking it. You know what I mean? But if you get that engine up to about 2,000 RPMs and then you let go of the brake and floor it at the same time, once that boost kicks in, these things are monsters. You just got to understand how to work them to get the most performance out of them. This is nice. I'm not really looking for something like this. This would be great for, you know, a family. And not to say I don't have a family. I have one, but we already have plenty of family cars. Oh my God. Is that the Passat from last? Oh wow. Yeah, that's the Passat that I completely destroyed the interior on with a exploding soda can. We will have to go take another look at that real quick and see. Maybe we should buy it. Maybe that would make things right with David Stanley. You know, I'll buy it from them. I don't think I can afford it, honestly. All right, that's it for this one. Let's move on and see what else we can find. Next, we got a 2019 BMW X3. Is this an X-Drive? This is not an X-Drive. And don't worry, this is next because I gotta see, I gotta see how it came out. I still feel so bad about that. It is an X-Drive. It's an X-Drive 30. 40,000 miles on the odometer. Good tires all around. This is what I love. And this is a lease vehicle, so this is off lease. Perfect. This is what I love about most of the vehicles out here, is that the majority of them are actually good vehicles, worth decent money, and they're in relatively good shape with matching tires and good paint and mechanically sound. It's really nice. It's a good change of pace from going through and, you know, purchasing cars that need a whole lot of work. This is, if I were to really get serious about a retail dealership, this is absolutely one of the places. There's a few, but this is one of them that I'd be going to purchase my vehicles. $50 Let's turn that down before I end up getting some kind of...
Call right now, 800-525-5686.
How do you turn these things off? There's buttons everywhere. There we go. Let's turn that down. Great vehicles out here, guys. And I'm not saying that because they let me come look around. Like, I buy some vehicles from here. It's just the vehicles they sell most of the time are nicer, and they're too nice for the channel, because where's the content if you can just buy something that runs and drives and doesn't really have any issues? Look, there's no warning lights on this dash. This is a 4-year-old BMW with 40,000 miles, and it's got no warning lights at all. Air conditioning just kicked on. It feels nice. I don't think we have cooled seats in this. It's an X3, you know, not an X5. You'd probably get all of that stuff in an X5. You got Sport Mode, Comfort, and Eco Pro, hill descent control, parking, traction control, all your controls for your media center. This is, I mean, it's nice. It's a nice SUV. It's, you know, a little smaller than... It's a little smaller than I would like if I was looking for something for myself. I just like the X5. I really like the X5. The X5 is kind of big and beefy, and it really holds the road well. Oh boy, it's a little dirty. especially for only having 40,000 miles on it. My goodness. Good Lord, you poor thing. Look at all the leaves and everything under here. That all needs to be cleaned up and cleaned out. Probably lived down some kind of a dirt road would be my guess. Or spent a lot of time traveling the back roads of Oklahoma. I mean, it's nice and quiet. The paint has a few scrapes and scratches on it. Nothing serious. I don't see any major dings. A little bit of scratching here too, and some. You can tell it was down a dirt road, is what it was. It had to be. There's like tree branch scrapes down the sides. Some of it will probably buff out, and some of it will absolutely not buff out. Let's get the seats adjusted. Let's take this one for a quick ride. We are parked next to this little bitty white Mercedes SUV. Let's see what this thing does. All right, here we go. And we're off. This one actually has a little bit of gas, which is nice. And the next vehicle we're going to look at is David Stanley's Passat. We'll see how that one came out. I don't think it sold in the last auction, so hopefully it sells in this auction, and hopefully it cleaned up all right. So it's pretty dusty in here too. There's a lot of dust all over the instrument cluster. I doubt you guys can see it, but yeah, you can tell that this thing was worked pretty hard. So it's going to need a really good cleaning. Let's get it up on the test track. Let's just see how it runs and drives. With 40,000 miles, I don't expect there to be anything particularly wrong with it. All right, here we go. And you know, it's honestly pretty quick. I wouldn't call it fast, but yeah, it's actually decently quick. Very good acceleration, no vibrations, no pulling. I mean, the steering wheel is straight as an arrow. I need to pull this up on Black Book Cherry. Jessica's been considering an SUV. I'm gonna have to, if I haven't already, I'm gonna have to do an update video for the hail damage, but she's been considering an SUV. She really likes the Jaguar F-Pace. She likes the Land Rover, Range Rover Discovery. I don't know. I think she'd be better off if she's going to get an SUV, maybe with a BMW, like an X3. I think this would be great for her. Let's hit it, see what it does. Once it builds up boost, it gets it, man. No issue getting to 60 miles an hour at all. Brakes feel solid, no pulsating of the brake pedal. Suspension feels solid. It's nice and quiet. See, something like this, I know you guys are probably wondering why I'm looking at so many SUVs. Generally, I don't look at these compact SUVs, but I'm just keeping my eyes open, and my options open for that matter, in case she says, yes, let's do an SUV. I would like to be able to have something already in mind and ready to go. So just stay tuned. We're going to come back with with an update video on all the hail damage and what happened and what is going on, because I know a lot of people have been asking about that. So we will get to that shortly if we haven't already. Parking spot number 74. We're back. Put it in park. AC is nice and cold. Like I expect. The windows work. Yes. Window. Yep. And it was being serviced at Costco. We actually have a Costco out here, guys. We have one. There's one Costco out here. And I'm a Sam's Club member, but I'll be honest with you, going to Sam's Club it's getting more and more like going to Walmart. It's just not a very enjoyable experience anymore. So I'm thinking maybe it's time to sign up for Costco and see what that's all about, because I've never... Ooh, there was a bug crawling on me. Gross. So here we are with the Volkswagen Passat that I just don't even know. This one's something. And I got a phone call from David Stanley, and they saw my video, and they were like, so saw the video, and I said, I'm sorry, and I told him, I said, I swear, I don't believe I did it. I really don't. But I had so many people in the comments saying that I understand that you could hear this sound. It was a tink when the can exploded. I get that. And I was holding the amplifier, and from the angle of the camera, it absolutely could have been that I hit it. I don't think so. I really think that the can just exploded. But either way, it happened on my watch. It happened while I was looking in the car, so I told him that I was really, really sorry. I offered to clean the thing myself. They said, don't worry about it, they'll take care of it. And it looks like they cleaned out the majority of the car. It still leaves a little to be desired. There's still some soda, but the majority of it looks like it's mostly cleaned up. This car was pretty rough. Yeah, they really did a number on this because it looks so much better. So in case you're watching the video, Tony, again, man, I'm sorry. You know, I don't know. I didn't feel myself hit anything. The can just exploded on me. And I feel bad about it because it did happen regardless while I was messing with it. So I apologize if it caused any inconvenience or anything. But he said he wasn't mad. So this is a 22 Passat with 35,000 miles on the odometer. As you can see, it's got custom everything. Carbon fiber wing, custom wheels, lowering kit. It's got a wide body kit, a front splitter. It's, you know, it's something. Let's fire it up. All right. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. So we've got this kind of carbon fiber gauge pod right here. Looks like you've got a boost gauge. You've got oil pressure gauge, but it doesn't work. You've got wires that are just hanging out. I don't know. Oh, that's not on there very well. Yeah, I don't know. Check engine light is on. TPMS light is on. It's completely out of gas. Like, completely out of gas. It's got nothing. Pop the hood, pop the trunk. Let's crack this window just a little bit in case the doors decide to lock themselves on us. Sometimes I do that, and sometimes I don't. Oh, man. That, wow. That sounds like it's straight piped, guys. It will cost a fortune to bring this car back to stock again. They must have had a stereo system in here because they got these giant distribution blocks. Wow. The interesting thing is, though, everything under here looks completely factory. It looks completely stock. It does. Charge pipes, intake, everything looks factory on this, guys. They've got all these stickers and all of this stuff going on with it, but it's, at the end of the day, she's a stock car. Huh. Yeah, it's straight piped. You can kind of hear a turbo. Yeah, well, you know, I hope you guys get what you're looking for out of this. I do. I'm assuming this is a trade-in. Several of you, I've got another bug crawling on me. What are these? Ever since I got into that one vehicle, I've got bugs crawling all over me. Great. I don't even remember what vehicle it was. Was it the Lincoln Nautilus? I think it was the Nautilus. I don't know. All I know is I've got these bugs are crawling on me, and I don't know what they are. They've got little wings. They're little black bugs with wings. That's nice. Okay, let's continue on. Let's see what else we can find out here. There's an old Chevrolet, another Chevrolet Z71. I don't think there's anything left on this aisle for me to look at. Chevy Traverse. It's like a Toyota 4Runner over there. A Yukon, an older Yukon. I like this, 2017. It's an SLT. Let's see what's going on in the interior. You know, 117,000 miles. I don't think so, guys. Yeah, we'll skip on this. Let me walk around a little bit. Let's see what else we can find. Now, here's something that most people wouldn't be interested in, right? A 2022 Toyota Prius. I don't know. It's a rental car. It looks like it's probably a pretty base model vehicle. It looks like it's probably been sitting here a while too. Either that or the sticker's just sunbaked from sitting here. Tires look good. Paint and body look good. Yeah, overall this thing looks decent. Let's take a peek at the interior and a smell. It's got a... yeah, it's... Some of these cars, they got they're kind of like people. You know, cars really are. They're kind of like people. I've always seen cars that way because each and every one of them has been used differently with different people, with different personalities and different ways of life. And, you know, some of these cars, they smell great. Some of them smell factory. Some of them have horrible BO. And it's just like people. And as cars age, because they're all used differently, different things break, some things sooner than others, and, you know, you just never know. So you have to get to know your cars when you buy them. In that way, I think they really are like people. Each used car has its own unique personality, including, just like people, its own smell, you know, and sometimes it's a good smell. Sometimes you're like, hey, you smell good. Well, not to other guys, you know, but sometimes you're like, hey, you smell good. And others are like, you need a shower, boss. You stink. This is one that needs a bath. It's a little ugh. Let's start it up. Let's turn off those windshield wipers. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Windshield wipers off. 17,546 miles on the odometer. Average fuel economy. And this is where I really I like them. I do. I like the Prius. I will admit it openly. I like the Prius. I have for like the last 3 generations. I think these things are great. 51.4 miles a gallon. Average. 51.4. Yes, it is a strange looking car. I'll be the first one to admit that. It's not for everyone. But if you like to not spend a bunch of money on gas, well, I mean, a Prius is the way to go. They're not crazy expensive. They're Toyotas, so they're reliable. They have a great warranty. They're generally very comfortable cars with decent tech. Unfortunately, Toyota has never been known for good tech. Decent tech. But 51 miles a gallon. Good Lord, guys. I can't imagine, because I drive a pickup truck. You know, on a good day, it's probably more around 17, 18 miles a gallon in my truck. And that's relatively good fuel economy for a pickup truck. But 51, I couldn't imagine. Let's take it for a ride. I want to see what this thing drives like. So if I bought something like this, the first thing I would do would be to take it down to Brian at the auto spa. Like, it's, how do you, there we go. Yeah, very strange little shifter. Somebody's already got it in power mode, and I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, hold on. What is going on with the key? There we go. Let's do it like that. All right. A lot of people think that a Prius is slow, and technically you're right. I mean, compared to what? You know, it's, ooh. Hopefully that's just rust on the calipers. The only light we have on is a TPMS light. The car is driving straight. There's a little grinding from the brakes. With 17,000 miles, there's no way the brakes are bad. No, absolutely no way. The brakes on a Prius generally last forever. They'll go 100,000 plus miles before you need brake pads on these things, which is another nice thing. Limited maintenance is required to keep these things going. But yes, a Prius is slow compared to a lot of cars, but I'll be completely honest with you. You put it in power mode, it'll surprise you. If you've never driven one, you really should try it before you judge it, because it actually does have some pretty decent get up and go. Look. See? No, it's not, you know, fast, but it dang sure isn't slow. I can already tell this thing has a CVT transmission. You guys already know how I feel about those. I hate CVTs. I understand that their purpose is better fuel economy. God, I'm old school. I really, really like and prefer a transmission that shifts. You know what I mean? Not a shifting CVT, a actual shifting transmission. I'm gonna get you guys a little closer here so you can get on the display. Hopefully you can see. Let's give it the beans. You know, maybe not the most impressive, but it had no problem getting up to 60 before the test track ended. And I've driven some cars out here, guys, that could not get to 60 before the test track ended. So they exist. So what I'm trying to say is the Prius may not be a sports car. It's not super fast, but it's good enough. It's absolutely good enough to get you on and off the highway. It'll get out of its own way. Passing should be no problem with it. It's, you know, just a little slow compared to most vehicles today. But overall, it's not a bad car. It's not a bad car at all. Let's put this thing back where we got it from, and we will continue searching for the next one. How about a 2019 Subaru BRZ Limited? It's got a high metallic black paint. I really like it. I do. If you're standing on the side with shade, it really just looks black. But as you move along to where the sun is hitting it, it just, boom, it kind of explodes with all of these shiny metallic flakes. Almost kind of look like blue flakes. Hopefully that comes out in the video. Man, that is, I like it. I like it a lot. I don't think I've ever driven one of these. This one's got 74,000 miles on the odometer. It looks like maybe something's bumped the front end a time or two. The lines don't quite line up perfectly. They're pretty good, but the bumper is definitely not popped in to the clips like it's supposed to be. Looks like it's got good tires. We've got Michelin's all the way around. It's a remarketing company. Of course, it is a manual transmission. You got nice, I'd call these like medium bolstered seats with the BRZ embroidered in them. Feels like Alcantara. The roof is a cloth material. This is, I like it. I don't know how else to say, oh, look at this. You know what this is? If you don't, this is where you put your, boom. Yeah, you can keep it right by your leg. Have one in the Raptor where you can literally, I had mine mounted over here in the Raptor, so you can grab your, you know, and slide it right out in a hurry if you need to. Easily accessible. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. See, here in Oklahoma, we're an open carry state. We're also a concealed carry state, meaning you don't have to have a license. You don't have to have any special permits to have your weapon on you at any time. And that's something that I think you got to respect, especially, you know, as more states start trying to ban people's ability to carry weapons and be able to defend themselves. At least that's my personal opinion. I like being able to protect myself and my family if I need to. Let's climb in this thing real quick. It's a small car. It's a very small car. Let's get adjusted to where I feel comfortable. Oh, it's an automatic? I thought it was a stick. Oh, they made it look like a stick shift, but right there, park for, okay. Well, I've gone this far with it. We might as well go ahead and check it out. That sucks. That really sucks. Well, it's in sport mode. I'm really upset. I thought this was a manual transmission car. I sure did. Important window works. Less important window works. Air conditioning? No idea. What are we doing here? How do we get it? Oh, well, there we go. There's the air conditioning. Does it work? It does. 74,000 miles. We have a TPMS line on, but I did check the tires. The tires all look like they're aired up enough to go for a drive. It does have fuel, so we'll turn that radio down. All right, heated seats, snow and sport mode, traction control, track mode. Does that do anything when you push it? Do you have to hold it? It does nothing. Like I'm pushing, maybe you got to be in gear. It does, that button does nothing. Neither does that button. This one works. Snow, sport, and off. Okay, well, let's buckle up, take it for a quick run. So we're parked right next to this little Mini Cooper S over here. So let's remember that so we can put it back where we got it from. Be very cautious pulling out of here. There's the Prius that we just test drove. All right, let's just see what it does, man. I've never driven one. I would have preferred a manual, but this is a car that's gonna be a little more affordable. I think it's a little older. It's got some miles on it. And I'll give it a pass for being an automatic, assuming that it is still fun to drive. Like I said before, it's a small car. I'm not exactly a small guy. I'm not a huge guy either. I'm 5'11 and a half, and I'm 209 pounds. I'm still losing weight, guys. So that's good news. But I fit well in this car. Like it's actually quite comfortable in here. The car rides really well too. Very nice. All right, let's do it to it. Ooh, that's... Ooh. I mean, yeah, that's something. I really didn't get into it. I had a car coming one direction. I've got another car that was right on my backside. So let's try it again. And that's it. Wow. Tachometer doesn't work. Speedometer appears to work. Brakes feel good. Steering feels good. You know, it's... I guess I'm surprised. It's very slow. It's very, 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 very slow. This is definitely not something that I'm interested in. So we're going to put this one back where we got it. Yeah, not impressed. Not fun. Just very, very uneventful to drive. That's really sad. I was actually looking forward to this one. I thought maybe, just maybe, this could be something we would put a bid on. But there's my little Mini Cooper S. We'll put it in park. Let's shut her down. Oh, I'm looking for a key. It's push to start. Well, how about a 2019 Jaguar XE S? Looks like it's got Pirelli tires. I'm wondering if we've looked at this one before, because something tells me we have. It didn't run or something. I don't know. It does have Pirellis on the front. Beautiful high metallic blue panoramic roof. We got Pirellis on the back too, so matching tires. 2019 with 21,000 miles on the odometer. So I don't think we have looked at this one. I think we looked at one similar, but it had crazy miles, and it was it was not good. It was not good. It's parked next to this Toyota. In fact, it's parked right next to two Toyota Camrys, a silver one and a gray one. That way I'll remember where it goes. Let's take a peek at the interior real quick. Nice interior. I really like this. Low miles. Yeah, this is decent. Somebody's coffee is in here. I could use some coffee. Nah, we're not gonna drink that. And this is so fun. You push the start button, and it has an erection. Well, it runs good. Let's see what's going on the dash here. Boot is open. The boot. All right, we'll need to address that. It says the parking brake is on as well. There we go. Parking brake is off. Air conditioning, like an absolute must. It is. This car has got some humidity in it. It is super humid inside this vehicle, so I'm going to crank the AC up just a little bit. Overall, pretty decent looking interior, guys. I want to pop the hood, roll down this window. You've got the Meridian sound system, memory seats, no cooled seats though, unfortunately. Trunk release, lane keep assist, your gauge dimmer right there. And now the bonnet is open. Lots of buttons on the steering wheel. You've got your adaptive cruise control, cancel, and you've got set, minus, resume, heated steering wheel, your menu OK buttons for all the dinging that it's doing. There you go. You can scroll through your menus right here. Looks like you've got a volume up and down. You've got a button for talking to your car, like, hey Siri. You got your phone button right here. Infotainment takes up the whole center. You've got, looks like a CD player, which is kind of crazy. You got your different modes. Track. Well, that's the mode we want. We want track because that gives us like all the power. I mean, this is pretty decent, guys. Let's, number one, close the trunk or the boot. Oh, it's not open. It says it is. It's not open. Oh, it doesn't close all the way. There we go. It's closed now. Let's pop the hood. I kind of like that Acura right there too. It's kind of nice. It is a 3-liter V6 supercharged. So this thing ought to get it because it's not a big car. I mean, it's not tiny. It's definitely not a big car by any stretch of the imagination. Ugh. Let's sit in it. Let me adjust my seat to where I'm a little more comfortable. Get my mirror adjusted so I can see behind me. All right, let's take it for a ride. All right, let's take this out for a spin. Remember, we're parked between two Toyota Camrys. That should be relatively easy to remember, right? Make sure nobody's coming. All right. Oh, I can already tell this is a torquey little car. It's definitely a torquey little car. Brakes. Brakes feel good. It's very important to test your brakes. Make sure they work. You don't want to get on the test track going 60 miles an hour and find out that the brakes malfunction. So yeah, definitely make sure your brakes work. They've told me that people have actually run through the test track and into the fence before. So very important to make sure your brakes work. Brakes on this feel really good. Low mileage car, shouldn't be a problem. Let's give it the beans. Oh wow, no kidding. That's 60. And we still have half a track to go. Wow. Not only would Jessica like this, but I think I would enjoy this as well. Her 2022 Mustang GT with the 10-speed automatic, I was looking it up the other day, looking up specs. 0 to 60 on her car is 3.9. 3.9 seconds out of a $50,000 sports car? That is absolutely insane. Now, I don't know what the 0 to 60 is on this, but it's honestly, this is pretty impressive, guys. I'm going to get you down here where you can see the instrument cluster. Let's go. Look at this. Wow. Wow. And as you can see, we still have plenty of track left. Like, no pulling in any direction. Steering feels great. Brakes don't pulsate. They feel fine. No funny vibrations, noises, anything going 60 miles an hour. So this is a good one. This is a really good one. I got to pull up Black Book Cherry real quick. Let's find out what this thing is worth, because I told you I've got about $40,000 to spend. I don't have to spend all 40. If I can help it, I don't want to, but I got 40 grand to spend if I find something that I really like in that price range. I mean, it can be under 40, it can be up to 40. I just don't want to go over 40. Let's put this car back where we got it from. Let's find out what this thing is actually worth. Just my luck, my Black Book Cherry isn't working. You know, it's one. I know it's an app, and obviously apps have glitches, but when you're out here trying to actually work, and you need it to work so that you can be productive, and it fails, it's very frustrating, especially when you're paying a monthly subscription for something that doesn't work. It was working earlier. I used it on a few vehicles, and now it doesn't. So I have no clue what this thing is actually worth. So here's what I've done. I took a picture of the information up here with the VIN number, and hopefully Black Book starts working later, and I can go ahead and plug all that information in and set myself a limit on what I will spend on this car. If you guys feel like looking it up, I mean, it's a 2019. It's a Jaguar XE S. That S is important. Very clean, 20,000 mile car. What do you think? I think this car could be a lot of fun. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, and thank you to ACV Auctions, to Dealers Auto Auctions here in Oklahoma City, for letting us come out and go through their cars. I really do enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. If you do, like I said, hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.